So maybe you watch my videos already about managing your money and having a budget, but you need more money to budget, right? Today, I'm gonna talk about something that I think is a little bit risque, but whatever, I'm trying to help the people. Let's discuss how I grew my income by $30,000 in 8 short months. Results may vary, but keep it locked. It's Crystal with the Cash Compass. All right, this is your first video. Welcome. You came at a great time because I'm gonna show you how to get your money up. And if it's not your first video and you're not subscribed, bad luck for you. But let's get straight into it. I'm going to be talking about how to increase your income if you have an employer, but this would also apply if you have your own business and you're looking to increase your earnings. So stick around to the end because I'm gonna actually talk about in detail what I did to get this 30K, but in general, we're gonna go over the skills that you need to be able to even request such an amount. I have gotten every single job that I've applied for and pay raise when I started using these tools. So stick around to the end, okay? Get all of this information. Step number 1, I have a high income skill. For those who do not know, I am an accountant, but I'm not just any old accountant. I am a CPA, which I'm not gonna get into details, but I worked hard for this license, okay? That allowed me to command a higher salary. So if you are working at McDonald's and you're trying to be the next millionaire, I'm not sure if this is gonna work. Maybe you could be at McDonald's working on your high income skills, sure. But make sure you have a skill that can actually demand this kind of money. You can't get your money up just answering phone calls all day. That's not worth $1 million. I'm sorry, not trying to ruffle any feathers, but ruffle. And when you're thinking about high income skills, that does not necessarily mean you have to go back to school. In fact, I do think that a lot of people who do go to school end up screwed because they have a degree that does not earn a lot of money, but they paid a lot of money for it. So please think about your student loans and the debt that you're gonna go into as an investment. Do not spend so much money investing in education if you're not gonna get a great return. I said it. Going to school worked out for me because I was able to get a higher salary because my field does require education as well as this license. So it worked out for me, but everybody has to assess their own situation. Alternatives to a 4-year university is maybe starting at a community college and then going to a university so you can save money. There's trade schools, there's workshops, there's other things you can do to increase your income. Don't just think you have to go to school because I don't think that's what works in this generation. For everybody, don't drag me in the comments. So after you have your high income skill, you have to work on sales and negotiation. What good is a high income skill if you can't properly present it to your employer? And I know people think sales sucks and who wants to get rejected, but honestly, having sales skills is something that has helped me immensely. I cannot even stress how important it is to be able to sell. Okay, because let's face it, when you are in front of these employers, you're selling yourself. My first job was in sales. I worked at a clothing store and they were very big on pushing you to sell credit cards. Then I went to a job working at a credit union and they also pushed sales too, but I got into it and I actually ended up earning some of the highest commissions because I was really pushing everything. So you have to master that skill. And a lot of times it'll come naturally when you know you are really good at something, you'll be able to sell yourself. So maybe watch some YouTube videos about selling, maybe talk to yourself in the mirror. I did that a lot, you know, like, sis, we don't get this money. We won't get it today. So in an interview, obviously your first impression is the only impression that matters. And if you are in a situation where you're applying for this job, you know you're eligible, but you have to just convince them to give you a higher pay, you have to go in there and absolutely dominate, which I'll get into in a moment, but make sure that when you are making this impression, that it's a very lasting impression. Once you understand who you are and what your best assets are, the sales should just flow out of your mouth. So when it comes time to talking about that money, this is where you're gonna have to learn how to negotiate. For me, I wouldn't say I'm the best negotiator, but I've always gotten what I've wanted, so something's working. Do not be afraid to negotiate. Please do not think it's like what you see in the TV where they're screaming at each other and throwing threats around. A part of negotiation is to feel like both parties are actually winning. So your goal is to make it seem as if what you're gonna contribute is actually a value for what you're asking for. And also do not be afraid to just walk away. Most recent times that I've been applying for jobs, I've actually walked away from the position and they offered me what I wanted just to get me in there. So walking away actually has gotten me the job. And going back to what I said earlier, if you really make a great long-lasting impression on in your interview, they'll want you to be there. I actually interview pretty well, if I must say so myself. I know what my skills are. I make sure I do a lot of research, which I'll talk about next, so keep on watching. But make sure whatever you're asking for, you're able to justify that because you have good skills and because you sold those skills properly. You see how it all ties in? So if you're already working for an employer and you're looking for more money, a good tip is to make sure that you're actually frequently asking for evaluations. That way you have your own track record of what you need to improve on, what they're loving, what they're not so loving, and then when you can actually make a request for pay, you have a substantial amount of evidence that would support why you deserve the pay. Don't just go in there asking for money. Maybe you've helped increase sales, maybe you've kept things more organized. Just really keep track of everything that you're doing, so when it does come time for your evaluation, you can sell that ass. And with that too, you have to actually deserve it, right? Don't be on your phone all day, every day, and then thinking you deserve $5,000 more, because you don't. Really make sure that you're putting your all into this job or whatever it is that you're asking for more money for, because people are not going to award average behavior with more money. So make sure that you are above average, and when you're asking for this money, it doesn't seem like it's coming from left field because you don't do anything. Now, research, research, research. When you are looking for a new job, you have to do research and see what the market price is for whatever it is that you're applying for. And when you're looking for the pay, also look for the qualifications. Do you meet those qualifications? Do you exceed those qualifications? If you do exceed the qualifications, that's something else that you could possibly negotiate. So what I like to do is looking at the job description and seeing, okay, what situation that I have been in that would make me qualified for this job? What tools do I have? What skills do I have that would make me a perfect candidate for this job? And then once you do that, you can offer that during your interview. And please make sure you're always asking questions in an interview. It looks so bad when you don't, and it's important to know it's a two-way street. Yes, you need the job, but they also need an employee, right? So don't think it's just them asking you questions and them being all tough on you. Ask questions, ask good questions, ask things that you actually would want to know, because it's your job and you need a healthy, non-toxic work environment as well with that good pay. So my personal story is I started working at a company and I worked very, very hard, and that company was really good at giving evaluations. So I was able to track what it was that I was doing great and what it was I needed to improve on. Once I got that down, I started looking for jobs. In some industries, you may have a recruiter, so check if that's something that is normal within your field, and they can actually help you so you don't have to really do a lot of the legwork yourself, because they work with other companies. So in my situation, I did have a recruiter and they helped pair me with a job, and I researched the heck out of the job. I researched the heck out of the interviewers, so if you can get that information also, research them. The first job that I interviewed for, it was actually a 4-people interview, so I was interviewing for like 3 hours, and every single person had unique questions, so you have to go in there prepared. When they talk about you, they are going to have something to talk about, because I was actually asking questions that made them think, made me look like I was involved and interested in the company as a whole, not just me getting a check. So I asked for growth opportunities. I asked for what kind of skills are they looking for. And then when I ask that question, I make sure to say, okay, I believe I can handle that because here are the skills that I possess. Okay? And then when it came to negotiation, I was firm. I said, this is the amount that I'm looking for. I really can't do anything less than that. I do believe that I would be a great asset to this company, and I do believe that this amount reflects the work that I will be putting in. They were trying to be firm as well, so I said, thank you, but no thank you. And then eventually, I would say maybe like an hour later, they offered me what I was looking for. So again, I was not afraid to just walk away. Same thing happened again when I looked for a job. Just a few months later, that job did not end up working out for me. So I looked for a new job, and same situation with this job. They asked me what I was looking for. I told them an amount. I said, I'm pretty firm on this amount. I cannot go any lower. At first, they said they couldn't pay that amount. But then I just gave it some time, and eventually they were ready to offer me that amount, and it was actually a role that was much more suitable for me, and that commanded a larger salary. And that happened within 8 months. I took what I learned from that previous job and I used it to my advantage, and I explained how what I learned from that job and my former jobs will allow me to do in this job and perform really well. And they loved me, so you can't just talk and not back it up. I definitely make sure I back up what I say I'm going to do. I perform exactly how I'm supposed to. And that's how I earn $30,000 more. That's all for now. If you like this video, then like this video. I heard that you may or may not get even more money within a shorter period of time if you like 3 to 5 videos. So go ahead. And if you're not watching anything else, I will have something up here for you to watch. I'll have something at the end of the video for you to watch. I'll keep you entertained. All right, so go out there and get that pay raise you deserve. And as always, keep your money up.